This week, two Republican congressmen demanded from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, they want answers about the possibility, Nicole, of American financial data being put into the hands, unbelievably, to the CCP, and the deadline for the SEC to give them an answer is May 31st. How can U.S. financial data be in the hands of the CCP? How does this even happen, Nicole?
Well, good morning and happy Friday. And first of all, I love gold and silver coin. It's so much better than the CCP securities. And so let's talk about what is the safest way to hold your money. Definitely don't trust the SEC's practice with the CCP securities, because over the years, the SEC has allowed hundreds of the CCP state-owned enterprises to be listed in the U.S. stock market. And you know what? They don't hold the CCP companies on the same standard of the laws and regulations as they would to with American companies and other foreign companies. And second, they don't require the CCP companies to disclose who is the true ownership, who is the shareholder, because some companies are actually owned by the PLA, the People's Liberation Army. And according to the latest report by the U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission, I mean, the total CCP's securities in the U.S. stock market totals about $1.03 trillion. And that means if a CCP collapse or something happened to them, and American investors will end up holding a bunch of worthless stocks in your 401k or public pension fund.
You know, this to me is just stunning, because in this letter on Wednesday, we got to the heads of the SEC, right? Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, Representative Jim Banks, both Republicans in Indiana, called on the two agencies to ensure that Chinese-linked companies, Wabul Financial LLC and Mumo Inc., are complying with U.S. laws and regulations when it comes to protecting American consumers and data. So basically, these are companies that they're concerned. People invest in them. They give their financial information to the CCP, and they're unregulated.
You know, the CCP has already owns the U.S. consumer data, the financial data through cyber attack, and this is one of the CCP's strategy to take down America, also known as the BGY. B stands for cyber attack and media influence, and using the Silicon Valley's surrendered technology to take down this country. And I also want to remind everybody, last year in December, the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board actually agreed that the CCP's regulation of the Chinese securities meet the U.S. standard. So this decision is opposed by many lawmakers, including U.S. Senator Mark Rubio, because this is like recognizing the CCP's practice in communist China. All their financial accounting practices are being held at the same standard with the U.S. standard. We know it's total farce, because the CCP never played by any international rule, and that's why they have, hyped the U.S. investors. But I also want to call out, it's the Wall Street who have been touting the China rush story, and you got the likes of Blackstone and people like the Wall Street celebrities endorsing that China growth story, and they're not responsible for the tens of billions of dollars that American consumers have lost in their 401k. And also, let's not forget, remember, a couple of years ago, the chief investment officer of the largest public pension fund in this country, the California Public Employee Retirement System, that person's name is Meng Yubing. He's a CCP spy. He was forced by the Trump administration to step down. And while he was in that position, he made hundreds of millions of dollars of American people's public pension fund to be invested in the CCP military-owned companies. Imagine that. And this is a warning that Mr. Mao Zedong, the leader and founder of the new Federal State of China, he warned American people years ago